Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Tonight we're showing films about computer problems. You know what those are and how frustrating they can be. Well, our next film is over 35 years old, but it's still one of the most frightening looks at what can happen when a computer seems to have a mind of its own. We now bring you the sci-fi classic 2001 A Space Odyssey, released by MGM in 1968 and directed by the legendary Stanley Kubrick. Now, Kubrick set a new yardstick for the sci-fi genre with his movie, which didn't come close to being matched until 9 years later, when Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind both came out. With 2001, Kubrick introduced a very scary new movie villain, a computer named Hal. And as with most of Kubrick's films, he labored over this next one for years. Kubrick wrote the screenplay with Arthur C. Clarke, basing it on several short stories written by Clarke. The film itself was 3 years in production, most of that time spent perfecting its special effects. One thing that Kubrick said he wanted to accomplish with this film was realism. He wanted it to be as scientifically accurate as possible. And with that in mind, he hired several members of NASA as technical advisors. Now, 2001 is the story of a manned mission to the moons of Jupiter, a mission which goes terribly and mysteriously wrong, in no small measure because of that computer named HAL. Now, interestingly, those three letters, H-A-L, are just one letter away from IBM. And Stanley Kubrick always denied any connection or inference. But sci-fi fans have had a lot of fun speculating, regardless, that maybe he was trying to sneak a message in there. Here's starring Keir Dullea and Gary Lockwood from 1968, 2001, A Space Odyssey. About that speculation that Stanley Kubrick, who directed this movie, was pointing a finger at IBM by naming the computer in the movie HAL, the H-A-L being one letter away from IBM, Stanley Kubrick always said that was a pure accident. He also said in the first script of 2001, HAL was actually named Athena and was to have a woman's voice. And the first person to record the male voice of HAL was actor Martin Balsam, but his voice track didn't satisfy the director and was discarded. And it was recorded again so that the voice of HAL in the finished film is that of a Canadian actor named Douglas Rain. Up next, computer geek Matthew Broderick suddenly, accidentally, hacks his way into a machine that controls the entire U.S. nuclear arsenal.
Tonight on Turner Classic Movies, we're booting up with computer problems. Next, Matthew Broderick turns a computer game into war games. Then Steve McQueen turns a Navy computer into the honeymoon machine. And aspiring performer Connie Francis keeps looking for love. The night is young on Turner Classic Movies.